What up, world? This is Geoffrey G. Griffin.
And I'm Richard Slaughter.
And welcome to the Why You Mad
Mad
podcast, where we turn anger into ambition,
One
one person
person
at
at
a
a
time.
time.
Why you mad? Why you mad? So we got 4 triggers. We got behavior, we got physical, we got emotional, and we have cognitive.
Okay, break it
So
down.
for behavior triggers, that's like the way that you're acting. So when you get upset or whatnot, what are some of the things that you do, right?
Right,
Do you
right,
pace
okay, right.
around? Do you start to kind of jump up and down? Do
Yeah.
you kind of tense up with your muscles, right? Then you have your physical trigger. So that's like, or warning signs, should I say. So warning signs, like, I know for me, when I get mad, my nostrils just start kind of flinching. And I cannot stop it.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot stop
It's
it.
about to go down.
Yeah, people already know I can't stop it, bro. So when you see me look like a bull, like, you know to get out of my way, right?
Yeah.
And so then you have emotional. So those are the emotions, the feelings that you're feeling inside, right?
Okay.
How are you feeling? Are you feeling sad? You feeling lonely? You feeling disrespected, right?
Right,
From the anger wheel, which we'll get into as well. And lastly, cognitive. What are you actually thinking about? Not feeling, but what are you thinking that you are going to do in this situation? What are the thoughts that come into your mind? I want to, bash this person's head in. I want to, get back at this person. I want revenge. I want, because revenge is really not a feeling. It's an action.
So you are aware.
You're aware.
You just might not be able to control.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Right. And it's a reasoning behind that, right? Because when we get angry, fight or flight, the same mechanism that we've used for the millions, regardless of, depending on what you live in, or the thousands of years that humans have been on this earth or whatnot, we have a fight or flight response. It helped us back in the day to be able to survive. Right? Because if an angry bear's coming at us, we got to get angry. We have to push all that blood from our brain to the appropriate spot from our prefrontal cortex to the back of our brain, to our reptilian brain, so we can use it to be able to fight, adrenaline, all that stuff. Well, we're still now equating those same physiological techniques, which our body's just wired for that, right? To a conversational argument that we have with our spouse.
Can I ask you a question? Are you fighting the bear or are you flighting from the bear?
For me, I don't know. I had to talk with my with my guy Ivan. I think I'm gonna fight the bear, man. Now, I may not be the best fighter, but I think I try to fight.
That's what you doing.
I try to fight the bear. I talked to you about that earlier, Ivan. I fight the bear. What you think?
I'm probably the opposite of Jeff. I'm gonna say it depends on the bear.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
That's true.
Yeah, I ain't been in the road.
Nah, you good. So, we're still kind of basing it on that. And so, until we can understand those techniques or those triggers or warning signs or whatnot, and we identify those, that's the first step in understanding, wait, hold on. Public enemy number 1 is knocking at the door.
Yeah.
Right? He's here.
Yeah.
Right? Or it's here. So now because a lot of times people don't even understand they're angry because it happens so quick, because we're in that flight or fight mode. We in that reflex.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We become reactionary instead of responsive, right?
Right.
And so that's the thing that we have to teach our youth. We got to teach adults. We got to teach everybody. Got to teach ourselves on a day-to-day basis, right? Take a few steps back, calm down, relax, allow that blood to come back to the frontal cortex of your brain, to where you could now have reasoning. You could think logically about certain situations and things like that. And the only way that we could do that is we have to be in tune with some of our triggers and some of the behavior, cognitive, emotional, physical things that are going on with our body.
So what do you do when that stuff is like celebrated? Like
true.
Violence.
True.
Like let's just say people are aware. They might know it. Like we see Baton Rouge, Louisiana, you know what I mean? We see violence every day. I think, so what do you do to combat, or like what do you think would combat the violence that's celebrated, that's glorified? You know what I mean? I hate to be one of those guys, but it is in the music. I ain't saying I don't listen to it, but it is in the music. And it is, seemingly loved by a lot of people, celebrated. it's imitated. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think? How do you combat something like that though?
I think, I don't know, and I'm gonna pose that same question back to you, but I just think you have to know what's fiction and what's real.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's something that line has been blurred.
That's good.
You know, because I mean, I was thinking about today. My pastor, he loves Batman.
Yeah.
Like he loves all the Justice League. It's violence in Justice League. People are getting like killed in Justice League.
Oh yeah.
And he's a pastor, been a pastor, and that's one of his favorite movie franchises. So it depends on the violence, and it's a violence to such a point to where it's blurred, to where it starts to the line between reality, you know, is starting to get lost. I think it's more prevalent maybe with children.
Yeah.
You know, because I know with me, I listen to all kind of rappers. It's
Right.
few that come to my name right now.
What?
But I don't ever think about, you know, doing some of the things that
Right.
they do.
Right.
Because, you know, you're aware of it, and maybe subconsciously, you know, we've also come from good enough backgrounds to where we're like, you know, we're not going to do that type of stuff. Whereas some people may live in that particular environment.
True.
And their environment shapes their reality, and it's impressed upon their subconscious to just randomly go out and do that type of stuff, which goes back to the triggers. You know, knowing your triggers and knowing when anger's coming through the door, even with all of this external, you know, external noise or whatnot that could kind of push us down the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So I want to pose the same question back to you. Like, what do we do about it? Because I know for a fact, I know President Obama listened to some of that music when he was up there. He had great friends that were rappers.
True.
You know,
True.
so
All black.
and he's a great man. You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
so what do you think? You know, with that question, what do you think needs to happen with that?
Man, I don't know. I think you got to make the opposite cool, or at least on that level. You know, smart needs to be cool, which I think is happening.
It's,
you
it's
know,
happening. It's definitely happening.
these kids more aware. They into politics and everything. So I'm excited, you know, about what's going on. But I mean, I think the reward has to be there too. Like positivity has to be like lucrative. You know what I mean? Like it got to be lucrative. That's the only way these kids buy in, because they just want to ball. You know, they just want to do, like, they just want to live the life. And if that's the only way to live the life, if that's the cost of admission, some people willing to pay it.
So here's a good question. So how do we make the Why You Mad Foundation, how do we make that cool? How do we make it cool for self-mastery? How do we make it cool for controlling your anger? How do we make it cool for just being in total control? Not just, because I believe if you're in control of your emotions, you're basically in the driver's seat for your life.
Right.
You can attain all things, right, through self-mastery and emotional control.
Right.
Like those days when you're feeling down, it doesn't matter, because that's a feeling.
Right.
Can you get over that feeling and do what you got to do to be successful? If you're angry and upset, are you going to use the tactics and the techniques to not let that anger overcome you, but to take that anger and to fuel you? Because anger can burn things down, or anger can be used to create things as well. So
no doubt.
Yeah.
So that's just a loaded situation, because, you know, it's so much stuff that these kids are, because it's not just our background. I think it's the times too, because you're talking about Instagram, social media, you know what I mean?
It's
Like
toxic. It's toxic.
they're seeing this reality or this whatever it is, and they want that. You know what I mean? And that's okay, like, to have ambition and to desire, but that's like pressure. You know what I mean? Every time I'm on online, it's men against women, is get your money up, is you know, you broke this and that, and I'm just like, that could make people angry too, and that's a lot of pressure too. So when you ask me how does Why You Mad Foundation compete, I mean, we literally have to be whipping down in Lambos or like private jets. We really have to, like,
Oh, and it's coming. It's coming too. It's coming.
yeah, I mean, but that, you got to be a rock star. Tour buses.
Yeah.
We got to get off the tour bus and be about positivity. You know, not saying we need a flock of women behind us or whatnot, but it would be nice to have some good, studious, beautiful women, you know, out here, you know, pushing positivity as well. You know what I mean? You know, all
I'm just
that.
visioning it right
Yeah,
now.
I'm just saying, though, but that-
I could just, yeah.
you know what you gotta do? You gotta get them to ask the question. What do you do?
Yes.
And when you respond, it has to be something positive
Yeah.
and attainable.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, cause if you see somebody whipping down and they doing something that's not so hot or illegitimate,
Right.
then it's like, but that's man, that might be what I gotta do to get it.
Right,
But
right,
Jeff pop out new Corvette, Rich coming through, Lambo, whatever, babes in there, and kids like, man, what do y'all do? And it's like, man, we impact, we affect change, we teach people how to turn their anger into ambition. Let me show you how to get money, you know, from a problem or something like that. Then it's like,
Opens up their whole world.
yeah, because it's like, man, okay, so I can still do this
Right.
and not be that guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
I can, like, Pastor Mike McClure. Man, he talks about it. He's like, man, I go in the studio, people doing what they do. Look, that's cool. You do what you do. I'ma still be me. You do what you do. So he still gets to hang out with these people who may, do whatever.
It's like Lecrae.
Yeah, and it's like, man,
Shout out to Lecrae, man. Shout out to Lecrae.
but people people want to be around you because of that positivity. Hey, pray for me. Jeff, man, I tell you all the time, man, you can run a Fortune 500 company, your organization, man, the way you're about things, like,
I appreciate it, man.
I speak that onto your life, but I mean, these kids see it, you know, they see how they could do it big, you know, in a positive way, you know what I mean? And we help establish a blueprint, because you know, people always say do this and that, and ain't got like, don't have a blueprint.
Right.
And we establish a blueprint, maybe a incubator, accelerator program, something to what we pulling these kids in, and instead of a pipeline of prison, it's like a pipeline of prosperity.
Right.
Like, what do you do?
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
personality assessment. Like you
That's
say,
good. That's good.
we need people. What are your triggers?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I've
yeah.
never been asked that.